Act 1. The Beige Years. Clara Bennett had always been the kind of woman who made lists. Lists of books to read. Lists of groceries sorted by aisle. Lists of habits she wanted to break and habits she wished she had. Her life was ruled by bullet points, and she liked it that way. Clean, contained, orderly. Until it wasn't. It had started innocently enough, this slow suffocation. 5 years ago, she met David in a cafe in Boston's Back Bay. He was a software engineer with kind eyes and a calm voice. He liked classical music, oat milk lattes, and ironing his shirts. He said "we" a lot. We should try that Thai place. We should probably start looking at condos. We should be saving more. At first, Clara was comforted by him. After a string of emotionally unavailable men with vinyl collections and commitment issues, David was a warm bath. But over time, warmth turned tepid. It was on a Tuesday when she realized she no longer knew what her favorite color was. David liked taupe and navy, so taupe and navy had crept into their home. Beige had swallowed her wardrobe. The books she once devoured sat untouched on the shelf. She hadn't painted in 3 years. That night, David came home, kissed her cheek, and asked if they should order the same thing from the same Thai place. "David," she said, placing her wine glass on the counter, "I think I want to be alone for a while." He blinked. "Like, tonight?" "No," she said gently. "Like, for real." And just like that, Clara stepped into the unknown, away from the comforting dullness and into something wild, messy, and hers. Act 2. The Bloom. At first, it was terrifying. She moved into a tiny one-bedroom apartment above a florist shop in Cambridge. The walls were seafoam green, and the bathroom tiles didn't match. She could hear the old radiator wheeze at night like it was breathing. But it was hers. She got a library card. She bought groceries without a list. She started painting again, at first timidly, watercolors in muted tones, and then later, bold oil canvases that filled the walls like screams she had finally released. Every Friday, she took herself out. One week, she sat at a rooftop bar with a notebook, jotting down bits of overheard conversation like a voyeur of life. The next, she danced alone at a Latin club, laughing when her curls stuck to her neck. She met people, women who taught yoga at dawn, a barista who read Zadie Smith, a neighbor named Cass who wore blazers over sports bras and said things like "no" is a full sentence. But it was a man she met at the community garden who would unearth something deeper. He was leaning over a bed of lavender, humming Fleetwood Mac and gently touching the leaves like they were sacred. "Don't overwater them," he said without looking up. "Lavender likes a little struggle." "Don't we all?" she murmured. He looked up and smiled. His name was Eli, and he had dirt under his fingernails and a dimple when he grinned. He worked in urban farming and could tell the soil pH by smell. He never asked her out. He just kept showing up, offering tomatoes, recommending novels. One day, he brought her a bunch of wildflowers. "They reminded me of you," he said, shrugging. "A little untamed." Clara felt her chest pull tight, not in panic, but in recognition. Act 3. The Soft Unraveling. Their love didn't explode, it unfurled. Eli was nothing like David. He never tried to fix her, never suggested she tone down the color palette of her paintings, or questioned why she needed 10 journals. He let her be, and in that space, she bloomed. They kissed for the first time under a rain-drenched awning, the scent of basil and wet pavement between them. He tasted like honey and black coffee. He kissed her like she was a story he wanted to reread. But Clara was cautious. She had worked hard for this version of herself, the woman who said no, who danced alone, who painted till sunrise. She was afraid that love would once again become a cage. "I don't want to be someone's we anymore," she told him one night, their feet tangled under a blanket on her creaky couch. "Then don't," he said softly. "Be your own, and let me be mine. And maybe sometimes we can walk side by side." And so they did. They kept separate apartments, they met on Sundays at the farmer's market and left sticky notes in each other's books. He held her hand at her first gallery opening, and she cheered him on when he opened a greenhouse in the city. One day, as they planted rosemary together, he said, "You know, I think love is like lavender." She raised an eyebrow. "It grows best with a little space, a little struggle, but once it's rooted, it never really goes away." Clara smiled, pressing her fingers into the earth. She still didn't make lists. She didn't know what the future looked like. But she knew this: she was wild, she was hers, and she was loved. And that, she thought, was more than enough.